Hey guys, this is something new that I wanted to introduce to you this month. In lieu of a full energy report in May, you noticed you didn't get one. You got weekly reports. I did film one, and I filmed it all in tarot using tarot as the natal chart with my fancy linen throw cloth natal chart that I've made to help me with my clients. And I really wanted to bring this to you. I did decide I'm going to show it to you. Okay. And this is something that I might play with again if you actually enjoy it. But I laid out the tarot in the astrology natal chart, and I talked about this month really focusing on the movement with tarot to give you another perspective. I didn't focus on the full moons and everything. I did talk about Saturn moving into Aries though. So check it out. Tell me what you think. I might keep up and continue to do this. If you really like the mat, I'll bring it back. I just didn't know if it would resonate or not. All right. Thank you again. Okay, guys. So I'm really excited to show you my board. I created this myself and I use it with my clients. And these are just little pieces of clay that represent the signs, and a lot of them have broken. So funny enough, the ones that I have are the planets that we are covering the most. So we've got Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. These are the major planets involved, and some of Leo, which I don't have one for Leo, but I can put Capricorn here. And let me put Aquarius here because Pisces and Aquarius, these are where all the major players are, okay? Now, these are going to be my markers for my planets. I've got a lot going on here, and I'm going to start by saying that the sun we know is in Taurus, so that represents the sun. The moon for the first, because that's when I'm starting to mark this, is going to be in Cancer. That's the dates that I have on my handy little guide here for May 1st. And then as we go in this order, we've got all of the major players on the board ready to move over. So this green gemstone here is going to represent Saturn. Now, Saturn is going to be heading over from Pisces to Aries. So it's the next major planet in a series of momentum of major planets leaving one house sign and going into another and going through that threshold, okay? So what I want you to really think about is first thing that happened is that we had Neptune, and this blue represents Neptune. She was in Pisces. She's moved to Aries. We had Venus. She went retrograde in Pisces, and now she's just back at the threshold of Aries. Okay. And then finally, we have Saturn, who is at the edge of Pisces. And remember, Pisces is the womb planet. It's like Saturn is in soil right now and is about to breach out like a plant shooting out of the ground into Aries season and come out and join this squad on actual Earth. Fire, the place between water, fire, Earth. Before all of these planets head to Earth, which is where they're heading next to really cement themselves for a long amount of time, they have to be birthed. They have to go through fire. Okay. So all of that inspiration that you're getting, all of those ideas that you're getting, this is really the last 3 months of being able to really get your ideas out before you have to experience them in the real world. Okay. So before these major planets, so go into their next house. All summer long, starting in July, you'll have Saturn. This represents Saturn, Aries. Okay. You will have Uranus is in Taurus. It's been in Taurus for almost 8 years, heading over to Gemini, major shift. And then you have Jupiter in Gemini heading over to Cancer. Okay. So all this is just Mercury here, by the way. And Pluto, we know, which would be over here, Pluto would be here where Aquarius is. Where is Pluto? I had a Pluto. Let me give Pluto. I know he's small, so let me give Pluto this. Okay. So remember, Pluto moved over. First major sign to move. Next one was Neptune. Next major sign to move. We've been waiting for this stack for 14 years, some of this stuff. Saturn moves from Pisces to Aries at the end of this month. Uranus and Jupiter both will be moving by the end of July. All of these planets will be now in new major houses that they will stay in for the next 7 to 14 years. Except all of them will go back temporarily into their previous house from September until around April. So whatever you're working on right now, whatever you're doing, what I need you to know is this summer you're going to get the experience of it. This fall and winter you're going to have to go back, refine the experience based on what happened during the summer and the last bit of the information that you need to pull through to bring to earth. By April, I would say 2026, everything is moving forward with this brand new energy that is so palpable. I don't know about you, you can feel this energy on earth. And it's insanely there's a lot of juice and a lot of energy in Aries right now, giving you the momentum required to get to the next step. I had to make sure my mic is on. Okay, now with all of this, if you see these tarot cards over here, I have mapped out this entire experience in tarot. So all of these have a place on this board, and it's based on the planet, the house, the decan, the specific degrees within these regions. All of this is telling us a story, and it's a very interesting story. So we're going to lay out all the tarot here, and then I'm going to go through it chunk by chunk by chunk, telling you the story of this month, focusing on this month exclusively, while so that you get a really good understanding as we really pull through getting that structure, whatever we're building, whatever we're working on, whatever we're desiring, as it's getting ready to go through the fire. I want us to be firmly understood in what we are bringing to earth. Okay, so you've already done it. You know exactly what it is. The thing you're probably feeling right now is that you really want to push it forward and you're ready to go and ready to launch. Okay. Do not launch yet. Wait until June or July. Do not do it. Okay. Wait until change is out of Earth structure Uranus when it gets to communication, so that the message you communicate will have the energy of change behind it to get that message out that you want. You want to make sure this expansion, this communication that you're getting from the universe right now with Jupiter, when it gets to Cancer, is going to be a lot about emotionally shedding, expansion in your emotions, and emotionally shedding what no longer is required of you, so that you can ready to get to this Leo energy, which is all about I am again. It's like a rebirth here. Okay. So there's a giant expansion that's going to be happening. There's a lot of changes coming up based on the work that you've already cemented, planted, structure, built, Neptune dreamed about, Venus harmonized and made pretty. All of that, you've got the momentum required to really set it off big. Now, I went out this weekend, and I'm going to say this before I set up the tarot. I went out this weekend, and one of the things that I noticed from a lot of the entrepreneurs in the field was this. A lot of us had something really big happened in the last 5 years. Either something like we were really striving for something, not reaching it, working really hard at something, not getting it, or experiencing some personal setbacks in life. In some area of your life, you felt that challenge of the universe, something really saying to you, I need more. I want more. Please give me more. Can I have more? I desire more. And that was really on purpose to spark this next round of expansion that we're all experiencing. I've talked to so many business owners who are going back at it, and they're all talking about I'm thinking I'm launching in June. I'm thinking I'm launching wait till June, July. That's when this energy is potent. And I look forward to seeing how people's stories transition over as this momentum is increasing. Okay. So I've got the invisible tarot here, and obviously you can't see this. And if you're listening to this, you obviously can't see this if you're on the podcast. So I'm going to go over them very specifically, but I want to show you how this works again before we start. So each of these is a stack, which is going to tell you a story. And then at the top, which you probably can't see, where the line is, where the threshold of a house is crossed, when the threshold of a house is crossed, when you go from 30 degrees to 0 degrees, let's say, you reach a threshold or an initiation point with these major in tarot It's the knights and the queens and the princesses. These are points of graduation in like your teachings or learnings or where you are psychologically around these skills or these tools you've been given on Earth. Okay. And every time a major planet crosses these houses, especially when it's spending a lot of time in a house, it's a bigger initiation to these energies. So we have to like tell the story and talk about what you will gain from that initiation before you get to the next house and yada yada yada. And I have a couple of different tarot cards to show you as we tell the tale. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Aquarius energy. First thing you need to know is that Pluto represents the foolish man. Each of us go on a divine journey, and our goal on that journey is to forget and to know that you are experiencing what you are not. You are ignorant to who you are. You are the fool, okay? You're the one who goes on this journey. It's the first card in the tarot. And it's crazy that it's represented by the oldest, longest moving, slowest planet, Pluto, okay? Now, Pluto is in Aquarius. The spirit of ether has met with the daughter of the firmament. And in my favorite tarot, this is the transparency tarot deck. I want you to see this. It's like this butterfly sitting on top of this star. If you go on this journey that we're going on right now, the one that you've been working on, if you can remember this for May, what I want you to do is pretend like you don't know, act like you don't know, okay? The more you don't know, the more you get to know. The more information comes in. The more you think you know, you put yourself in a position that where you close off in the door to more information, because if you know everything about it, how could you learn something new? You're going to have to be a fool to transform on this journey, okay? And in the star, the firmament, the daughter of the firmament, what is happening in this arena, in this energy? This star is the utmost potential from God, from source, from the great creator, okay? And this place of the firmament is that mighty water we've been talking about. And all of the information that you need on this journey is in this space. And the more information you claim to not know, that you allow more to get to you, that you release what you're clinging on to as far as belief systems and ideas, then you get more potential from this energy, okay? This is the ultimate goal of everything we're doing in astrology right now, because Pluto is the farthest out, I would say, in the orbit. It is the major theme of the collective. Now, I don't think I can show this card, this one all the way. It's the daughter of the rushing winds. Now, this is an initiation. It's going to take years. I would say in the next 12 years, what you are perfecting is learning how to run with that sword as a little princess of swords, okay? It's learning how to play with your mind. It's learning how to I just don't want to make sure this doesn't get banned or something. So it's all about learning to master. The first steps to learning to master your mind, to truly initiate manifestation, is this initiation that is going to happen once Pluto moves from Aquarius into Pisces. Now, that is a long way off, and that is the training ground, let's say, that we are on right now. But currently, the energies that are about to be the most prominent for us right now is going to be this energy that I want to discuss with you next. Okay. So I just want to make sure that this camera is getting all of this. Okay. So this is where we're focused. This is the foolish man. Okay. Foolish man, Aquarius energy. Oh, yeah, I don't have a Pisces one. Pisces energy. The moon represents Pisces, okay, in tarot. The universe, and we've got those two here. These are our dominant energies. I don't know why I'm facing that way. The ruler of flux and reflux is the moon, and the great one of the nighttime is the second one that I'm focused on here, okay? And then within those energy, I've got the deacon of the 10 of cups. And then the 8 of cups is what we call Saturn in Pisces. That is the specific energy of Saturn in Pisces. So we've got the ruler of the flux and reflux, your emotions, emotional processing, the great Pisces womb, the place where the yin and yang, like where creation takes place. The great one of the nighttime is that Saturn energy universe. It's all about discipline, structure, working with the universe to capture those binaural codes, and learning how to take the coding information that flows through your system and through your chakras and turn it into matter that means something to you. Okay, this is also associated with Leo and Taurus, that fire of creation, as well. So then you've got 8 of cups. Saturn in Pisces represents the Lord of abandoned success. We picking up what we didn't have before, what we forgot to pick up before. That's how this energy feels. So Lord of abandoned success is like, all you see all of these cups. You've got some empty cups and you've got some lotuses pouring into some other cups. You've got to go back and get this stuff that you left behind. You did not give it all you got. The point of this exercise with your entrepreneurship journey is to put all of your creative energy, all of yourself into the experience, and don't leave any parts of you out of the equation. And that will take you to the deacon. That last deacon in Pisces is all about Lord of perfected success. And that is what you came here to do. You wanted to come here to learn how to perfect and master your manifestation. And this is a part of that process. That part of that process, I'm going to show you this in the invisible tarot, because I think it's a far more poignant when you see it like this. Okay. Look at this third eye closed portal situation on the moon, okay, happening before you even get to the cups, okay? The universe and the moon. Automatically, her eyes are closed. That third eye, she's envisioning, she's dreaming, she's doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing with Pisces energy. That's what it's about. It's not being here, it's in the other space. She's on the other side, okay? And what's she doing over there? She's trying to climb and perfect this success. And she's trying to look and reach for that cup she didn't get. You see that climb that's trying to get that last cup from the top. It's a fragile climb, okay? And why? So that she could get to that success, baby. So she has a place to go and celebrate all of the cups, all of the fruit. Cheers to all of the work and the success. That's what you're dreaming about. That's what I'm dreaming about. That's what we're dreaming about. This is what we're trying to, there's something on the table probably. This is what we're trying to get to with this equation, right? This is that last Pisces energy. And then you got to remove this portal, because this portal is this is Saturn. Okay. And this is moving into Aries at the end of the month. So that dream, that same portal, this portal has the information from here. Okay. It knows what it wants. It came here to find something else. It's saying you got more to pick up. You got a lot of information from Pisces. I know the success that you're looking for. You've got an idea of what you want. I know you know more about what you want now than you did before. Okay. Now, do it right. Dream about it right. Get this part down. And you initiate when Saturn moves, Queen of Wands. Okay. This lady know how to manifest. She know how to bring anything into creation. She is the fire energy. It has to go from water to fire to earth. Okay. So you are birthing something, and this is the process. This fire, this burst is a giant amount of energy. And it will teach you how to better master creation by the end of it. By the time that this Saturn moves through here, it's going to go straight to Aries. Okay, so what's happening after this? When Saturn at the end of the month, and when we get to June, remember this structure that was in your mind, this thing you built, okay? All of this is we keep talking about this. This is the bubble I keep talking about, y'all. Okay. All of the information, the experience that you want to have, that thing that you've been creating, that you've been growing. This is that bubble that you dreamed about during Pisces season, when you went and took it to the darkness, when you cried about it and worried about it and let it go and surrendered it and all that work you did. Okay. Now you are trying to get to this point where you master your manifestations, and you're going to bring this Saturn energy to Aries energy. And let's talk about this Aries energy, where it is now and where it's going to be. And we're going to put Saturn in it. But let's start again with the invisible. So Aries energy is always represented by the Emperor. Okay. Do you see this? It's just man-made structures on earth. Do you see that? It's just like structures on earth that you know are not organic by nature. All right. The things that we create is very much connected to Aries season in this tarot. All right. Now, but we've got Venus currently here. Who is she? Mother Earth, Mother Nature. Okay. All of that feminine energy is now in that masculine energy, the beauty on earth, that these structures, they don't even have the foundation to sit on without the mother. Hello. Then we have Neptune energy here, because Neptune has moved into Aries. Okay. And then Mercury coming in hot at the end of Aries now, going into Taurus soon. But that energy is definitely talking to this energy. All right. Now, Mercury always represents the magician. It's about your walkie-talkie to God. Mercury knows, just like you know, this is the part of you that can communicate and understands all of the tools you came here and the gifts on earth you came here with. That's why it's represented by this grand kundalini, this perfection of the yin yang rising up the spine, you being more in connection with all the gifts of that mighty light body that you call yourself. You have that with this hanged man, which is what this cocoon represents. Okay. Now, the hanged man is all about surrender to the current experience and the circumstance. The net, you have descended into this net, and it is outside of your control. The information that you get here, only what you do with it. The only thing you can do truly is surrender into the emperor and the empress. Remember, you get the empress, which is Venus. Okay, this mighty mother nature, this part of you that is absolutely connected to the divine sense of creation right now, and the space that you're allowing yourself to create, partnered with that inertia of Aries energy, is kind of poignant and important right now. And if you just look at this, it's just like all of creation is just asking you to surrender. And within this cocoon, what's going to come out of it is this kundalini rising energy of being able to kind of, I say, even birth yourself into that manifestation. Because when you dream, you are using your feminine and your masculine. This is your dream, this is your empire. Okay, so all of this is just you have landed with Neptune. Okay, you are just cocooning, you've landed in your empire, and your kundalini, this larger part of you, is ready to experience this creation and is birthing itself here, sparking this initiation. All right. So, and what initiation is it sparking? You put Saturn on top of that. Saturn coming into Aries, it's like sending in all that information that it got in Pisces, all the further instructions it got about how to properly define this structure. All of that information is coming through the portal that is what we would call Saturn energy. So at the end of the month, I want you to know that that structure is officially being, that fire has sparked it on earth. Okay. It's here. Now, remember Saturn. Let's go back to Saturn. Because you are perfecting your manifestation, This is a great way to look at this. Okay. So let's go take Saturn back. So we want Saturn out in the field, out here on the field, with our structures and Mother Earth, our whole foundation, our whole queendom. This is our entire manifestation. Okay, we want Saturn here. When we have Saturn here, Mercury is communicating great things, and it's all about surrendering to the experience of allowing this information from Saturn that we got from Pisces season to actually build itself. You've already done the work. This is saying you don't have anything else to do. You just have to kind of let it grow. Okay. And it's to initiate you as a master manifester, not a manifestator, a manifester. And to be a really good manifester, you got to learn how to surrender. That's really the secret key. Okay. You got to build it and then let it go so that it can go out as an order to the universe. But then Saturn going to dip back here at the end of the year, going back to this place, because there are some things with this manifestation. The best part of manifesting, besides surrendering, guys, critiquing, analyzing, sorting, organizing, re-saying, you know what? Thought I wanted that. Could you add a little bit more salt? Could you add a little less sugar? You got to go back. And that's what this is. So all of these major planets, including Saturn, who will be moving out this month, is coming back at the end of the year for you to perfect the order. That's what I want you to think about. So you have to go on the experience of seeing some of it on Earth to know what you don't want and what you do want when you go back to dream about it. Okay. That's what I want you to think about to become that magic manifester. Okay. So once you leave this Aries energy and we look at what's going on in Taurus simultaneously, right? Know that you've got Phoenix rising here. The sun. First, let's start with Taurus. Sorry, Hierophant, Taurus. Structure, foundation, material matter on Earth, what we grow on Earth, valuables, how we get to how we have a steady foundation on Earth. That's that Taurus energy. I want you to see this. When you initiate this Aries energy, where Mercury is going to be headed soon, where the sun is now, it's all about that Princess of Pentacles. Learning how to master the coin, learning how to make that money, learning how to walk with that money and move with that money is what we've been trying to do to build a better foundation, right? So we're going to have to take this. This is all. It's going to be about that surrender energy. And because we have the sun here, which is the focal point, but we also have Uranus, which is also the phoenix rising from the ashes, kind of change. You can see that as the Hierophant. Oh, you can see it there. Magus of eternal gods. Okay. The spirit of primal fire represents the last judgment, that Uranus. I will change it to make it better. I will burn it down to bring you something greater. On top of the sun and the Lord of the fire of the world. So our focus is really on foundation and renewal to participate in initiating that Princess of Pentacles energy, where we know how to be the master of our coin, simultaneously while trying to envision this mighty structure on Earth that we're trying to surrender to. It's for this foundation. This is what we are doing. This is why we are going through the forge. It's to bring this new layer of reality into creation. And we recognize, probably a lot of us do now, the amount of surrender and the amount of death that was required for us to get to this next stage. If you really got there, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now this is going to be all. Now, remember, before I leave here, this transformative energy is moving. Okay, it's moving in June. Where's it going? First of all, it's going to be initiating Knight of Swords. Okay, the masculine energy and your mouth and the way that you think and the way that you believe, in the way that you process information, and all the wind that is associated, all the communication that is associated with the sword. You are trying to bring some honor and to some nobility to it for your value system, for this transformation on earth that you're trying to take place in, there is some honor behind it, some authenticity behind it, some dignity behind how you process and think. That is what is being asked of you. And as you get initiated into that and you leave this energy, Uranus leaves this energy of trying to strengthen the foundation, okay, of your value system, which is a lot about where your mind system is, okay, where your mind is. If you want to be the Princess of Pentacles, even if you want to get a little bit of coin, sorry, let me move this over a little bit. If you want to get a little bit of coin, you're going to have to know how your mind works. You got to control your mind, because that's where the lack is. It's nowhere else. It's only here. Now, this leads to that Gemini energy. And Gemini and Jupiter happening again simultaneously. But this leads to that Gemini and Jupiter energy that Uranus is then going to take its place on, and finding this mighty balance in the heart. That's what we want this Phoenix to do. This is a great image right here. This is where Uranus is headed in July. It's going to be a renewal point for how you communicate in the world with every single person, every single player, including yourself. It's the great mirror, okay? So you're getting initiated into this. I want you to remember this Knight of Swords, because I'm going to put it away for now, because I want you to look at this. Gemini is always represented by the lovers, children of the voice divine, these chained ideas of the self. I always think about it as the twins, where we chain ourselves in our reality based on our communication efforts, how we think, how we believe, how we feel, how we talk, how we emote, and where it actually ties us to our reality, or allows us to be free of our reality. Now, Jupiter in Gemini is represented by Eight of Swords, and it's called the Lord of Shortened Forces. Okay, so I want you to see it. I just love this version of it again. I want you to see this. Gemini energy is the heart with the yin yang inside of it. The heart's on fire. There is a mighty balance. You recognize the balance of all things, that there is dark and light. Within all darkness, there is some light. Within all light, there is some darkness. Both are required for movement. That movement is required for the 3D world we live in. We came here to be here right now. All is supposed to be happening as it is happening. Everything is going according to the proper plan. And then Jupiter comes in here, and Jupiter is trying to tell you, I want you to look in your heart and see where you are pinning yourself down. Where are you? Where are your belief systems? Where is your mindset? Where is your the way you moving and the way you thinking, keeping you from reaching this ultimate state of balance and ascension? Okay, where are you pinning yourself into place instead of expanding with Jupiter? And until you are able to see where those belief systems are holding you back, you will be shortened in your forces. But you also need shortened forces sometimes to balance out the threshold. Okay, if everything is all about go, 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 there really is no time to sit and balance and restore this. So this is all about, to get to this ultimate state, every now and then we got to go in and clean out the heart and look for places that's keeping this pinned in and not able to grow. Okay, and that is what Jupiter is doing for us. As all of this is going on, it's saying, I know you want to transform. I know you came to earth to do something mighty and great. And I know that you're getting a lot of information right now on all the greatness that you can be. I covered all of that. I know as a spirit that you are getting that. When you get that, you're going to learn how to master your mind, because that's what you came here to do. I know that's the experience that you wanted to go on. And as you've been going on that experience, you've been dreaming. You have something you feel like you came here to get, and you ain't been able to get it yet. And it's been real hard. And you have been looking into a portal of yourself. You have been going deep. You have been asking your guides. You have been begging even to get what you need in this version of reality and to reach this mission. And you are really trying to be the master of your creation. And that is not going, no one is ignoring your call. It's all being heard. It's all being heard. And what it's asking of you is, if you really want to see this portal shine, if you really want to see this thing get to this place, what you need to do is use You want to get here. You want all of this to come into fruition. Let it all go. Die. You gonna have to die over and over again and hold on to none of it, because the more you cling on to it, it cannot grow. If you hold on to something, it cannot grow. I need you to let it go and die. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute, because when you do, it's going to teach you a little bit more about holding the coin. It's going to teach you to get a stronger foundation. You are being birthed into a stronger support system and value system right now. Okay. And that support system and that value system that you are being birthed into, the only way that you're really going to reach it is if you look into your heart and you see where you are telling yourself the story as the Knight of Swords, honor. How are you treating yourself with honor? What stories are you telling yourself that are keeping you stuck? Okay. That is what this energy is asking for you. And then there's one more energy that we really need to cover, and that is the energy of Leo and Mars, because Mars is an Aries, and Leo and the sun, they're all connected in fire. This is really important. And this is representing strength. Okay. The daughter of the flaming sword is all about Leo. Strength is knowing that you don't have to use it, but having it. It's being able to be malleable, yet fortified with that strong foundation. And then when you've got the energy of Mars in Leo is connected to the Lord of Valor, which is the Seven of Wands. Okay. And it's all about learning what you need to battle for that manifestation. All right. I want you to think about it from this perspective. Everything you want, right? They say it's already there. And you see how this is sitting right on top of the lion's head? This is like a third eye. The battle is in the mind. You got this battle with all of these other wands. You don't see the enemy on the other side, because the enemy is the mirror. The enemy is you. And the only reason you can't get any of these dreams, that big one you got in your hand, that wand that you're using, you got to learn how to fight yourself for the manifestations that you want versus the ones that are holding you back, the same ones that are keeping that force from growth. It's holding resistance on what you say you actually want. Okay. And that's the change. That's why Mars is there. It's trying to bring some inertia to give you some strength. It's saying, I'm giving you the tools that you need to fight your mind. And when I say fight your mind, again, I say surrender. Those thoughts don't mean nothing. You can let them go by like the water. Okay. So this is what I have for you this month. This is what I like to put together. I hope this helped you. I know it helped me. I feel a little bit more enlightened based on what I've heard. I think we're all doing the right things. I think it's really important right now that we don't rush. Allow everything to unfold as it's meant to be. Remember that if there was work to be done, we've already done it. Okay, everything has already been taken care of. We've already done the work. What is being required of us is to learn how to flow and surrender instead of resist, fight, doubt, cry, stress, go in this direction that isn't helping us. So it's really about the battle of the mind. And right now we are at a maximum potential point. That new moon that happened in Taurus 2 days ago, guys, that was the initiation and the spark for the last transit into Uranus before it goes retrograde and comes back and then goes out again by next year. But this is telling us something. It's like, get those desires in. You need to dream big. What do you truly want? How are you trying to go after it? Stop trying to go after it that way. Pretend like you don't know anything. Be the fool on the journey and allow all of the information to flow through you. And I want you to know the difference between using your heart and using your mind. If you are thinking with your heart, then you're doing the dishes and an information comes to you, something so good comes to you, you have to stop, you have to dry your hands, you have to write it down, and then you have to work on it. You have to work on it. You can't stop working on it. Overthinking is pushing yourself to do something and you're like, is it going to work? I don't even know if I want to do this. You're hemming and hawing, but you need to be waiting for grand inspiration right now. That is what is required of you. Your third eye is what is required of you. Neptune has landed on Earth. If you want that fire to go out, you're going to have to use that energy that is within you to make it happen. And to do that, it is becoming the antenna. It's not trying to push and force out mess. It's allowing that natural higher self to communicate with you without without you putting dampeners on the expression. I am Candace with A Course in Miracles. Of course, it's miracles. A Course in Miracles. I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you.